Donald Trump has been elected as the president and Bitcoin is pumping exactly from our descending trend line. Can we hit $93,000 this month? You will find out in this video. Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Samo from My Crypto Paradise, and in this video we will take a look at potential $7 billion liquidation. We will have a look at funding crates, and definitely we will be looking at Bitcoin on multiple time frames. So let's first start with Bitcoin lower time frame analysis. This is our 1 hour time frame zone. As you remember from the previous video, I have been sharing with you this resistance level, and I told you, ladies and gentlemen, if we will start breaking out with a nice volume above average and then we will retest this, it will turn into a support and we will start pumping heavily. You remember that pretty well. I have recorded this video just 1 day ago and something. At that time we have been trading at around $69,000, and as you can see right now we have turned this level into a support and we are trading heavily above it. So just to understand one more time what happened exactly, we have broke this resistance with this nice candle that had a nice volume, as you can see right below my screen. Let me show you. On that pump that reclaimed this resistance, we had a volume that was above average, as you can see right here, and that was enough for us in Paradise MLVIP to strategically change our trading strategy. After this pump we have been waiting, right, and we have waited exactly for this retest. This retest confirmed that this resistance is turning into a support, and as you can see it was holding perfectly. Then we had increasement of volume and then we started this upward momentum, which was beautiful. You remember that we have been taking profits on our short positions right here at this major support zone. I have been talking about it as well in the previous video. As you can see, Ethereum bottomed at around $2,400, and as you remember I have been sharing with you that with Paradise MLVIPs we have been taking profits on our short position at $2,369. As you can see, since then we have started the upward momentum, and what's gonna happen right now? Let's discuss the consolidation that we are seeing right now in ascending triangle. If you are in our MCP free school, you know that this is actually a bearish pattern. Why? I will explain it to you right now, but in the description below I will place a link for you so you can learn how to trade the ascending channel patterns like a professional. Right now let's discuss why this is the bearish pattern that in most cases gonna break to the downside and works as a reversal pattern in at least lower time frame. This is lower time frame analysis. So first of all, why is it bearish? In like 80% of cases is because it came from an uptrend. All right, after this uptrend we are right now consolidating. So the same way we have been consolidating few days ago inside of this symmetrical triangle, right? We had this uptrend movement and then we slowed down and started to consolidate. Symmetrical triangles are completely neutral. However, there was the signs that helped us to understand that this is going to break down to the downside, and that is why with Paradise MLVIPs we have been opening short positions right at these levels. Then we have created this ABC corrective movement to the downside, and we knew that this is with highest probability the bottom and the downward price action is done, right? So first of all, let's understand why ascending channels works. Because after an uptrend, when the price starts to consolidate, and it can be either in symmetrical triangle pattern or in this ascending channel or rising wedge pattern, whatever, but it starts to consolidate, it starts to slow down, it means that the price is getting overbought. There is not many people left to buy, right? The momentum is because of that starts to decrease, as you can see in our MACD indicator right here as well. This was the momentum that dragged us towards $74,000 from around this level at $69,000, right? So look at the momentum right here, and then we created a next high, a new high, higher high, and take a look at the momentum right here. Yeah, so during this consolidation the momentum is decreasing, the price action is getting overbought, and these are the times when the bears can start to take over and we can get into a reversal. Alright, so the price action starts to slow down from this upward surge together with confirmation that the momentum is decreasing, that means that the bulls are getting weaker. And with Paradise team, we have found some similarities during this consolidation that we have seen also in this consolidation before this short-term breakdown and bearish price action. So let's take a look at it. So once we started to consolidate, as you can see, this high at around $71,000, we started to slowly push and created another higher high. But take a look at MACD indicator at this histogram right here. The price action of Bitcoin made higher high, however, the histogram made lower high. Take a look at this, okay? Lower high, that means that the momentum is decreasing. Higher high, that means that somebody is still buying. Most of the times it means that the price is being pushed by over leveraged long positions, okay? This is also the time when we understand the market is overbought and most of the current market participants already positioned themselves and bought. So unless there is some new entity entering the market, there is no one left to buy, right? So the bears can take over, and as you can see, there was an interesting sign that we also started to create a bullish divergence. As you can see, this low right here that was representing the bears, right? And then take a look at this. We have created a high low, however, the indicator made lower low. So a heavy selling pressure, but this ascending trend line held pretty well. And lots of people liquidated, right, on this selling bias. That was this candle representing lots of short positions closing. So lots of people were confused why we are not going down. But during this heavy prolonged selling pressure, we actually knew there is some bigger player actually creating this huge momentum, right? But lots of people were confused. In Paradise VIP, we have been playing it very strategically, and this was the time where we started to position ourselves into short positions right before the huge breakdown, and we have been holding our short positions until we hit the major support zone right here. And let's take a look at the current consolidation. The same thing is happening. Take a look. So firstly, what we had, this bearish divergence, right? Higher high but lower high on the MACD indicator. So that's the same thing right now. It's happening the same thing, right? Higher high on the price action, lower high on the MACD indicator. And now take a look at the lows. We have created a higher low, but the indicator on this histogram made lower low. And that's exactly what we are having right now as well. Look at this. Higher low, but the indicator is making lower low. Yeah, so loads of confluences right here with the previous consolidation, that just increasing the probability that this consolidation will not end up by breaking higher above this trend line, but it will take us towards some correction, right? But we still expect one push higher. Why? There is multiple reasons for why. There is loads of liquidity above us as well that we can take before going lower. It's called short squeeze. It's happened previously as well, as you can see, because loads of people entered short positions. The market players liquidate them on this candle right here. Late sellers liquidated on that bias, turned bullish, and then we had this downward momentum on the long squeeze liquidity, right? Those so similar things are happening that making us conscious. But firstly, we can have another last touch of this ascending resistance trend line, and it also works perfectly with the technical analysis because we need like 3 touches. Usually we have 3 touches. You can see most of the times it is also in the textbooks like this. We have 3 highs, and then on the 4th high low we start breaking lower, right? So there is a probability that we can have one last higher high. So because of this knowledge, we are managing our trading very systematically, but the risk of this overall ascending channel pattern breaking lower in the end is very high right now. That is why we are playing it smartly and careful. The only way we could break higher above this ascending channel is some new entities, some new huge buying power to push the price of Bitcoin higher. But because also from the Elliott wave perspective, this is the final E wave, because take a look from the bottom right here, from our major support zone right here, we have created already 5 waves, right? A, B, C. I'm not taking this low in because that's zigzag consolidation. D, and now we are probably gonna finish with the final E wave as a final third touch of that ascending channel. Or before this was indeed not a zigzag but already a D wave, and that means A, B, C, D, E. This was the final wave, and right now we are in A, B, C corrective Elliott wave move that will help us to break from this ascending trend line. So higher probability is that we will retest for one more time this ascending resistance trend line, but it's very important to be careful at the current market conditions. Let's shift towards our medium to high time frame analysis on a daily time frame. You can see that I have been expecting this ABC, and as we have confirmed this ABC on a lower time frame that was finished ABC right here with a high conviction, we could tell that this support zone right here will be holding very well. Also, thanks to our previous video where I told you that we are creating a hidden bullish divergence. As you know from the previous video, I have been sharing this with you one day ago something. This hidden bullish divergence really helped to push Bitcoin to the upside, and right now we are just below this important 0.618 Fibonacci retracement level that is forming our key supply zone right here. If we can overcome this supply zone, we can get higher. However, take a look at the volume on this daily candle, very minimal. We need to start pushing, and we have only 8 hours left. If we are able to overcome this resistance zone right here, we can continue to consolidate above this and then turn higher without any deeper correction. However, if we fail to overcome this resistance zone within few days, there is a risk that we might have another correction. That is why we are monitoring the market 24/7 with Paradise team, and we are ready for these kind of opportunities that we can turn into profits. Volatility is really your friend if you know how to work with it. There might be a slightly more bearish probabilities right now that we might go into this smaller correction, also because of looking at the liquidation levels. As you can see, if we liquidate the long positions by touching one more time the ascending resistance trend line higher, as I have been explaining to you right here at around $77,000, we can liquidate around $2 billion, right? So we can have this kind of squeeze to the upside, and then if we start to move to the downside, we can liquidate actually $7 billion in long positions, and that is very juicy liquidity to take for exchanges. They are paying these market makers to really trigger these kind of levels, because when you get liquidated, the exchanges are making so much money out of you. That is why with Paradise team we are working extremely hard to make sure that you are not on this side as 99% of other people. We want you to be safe, okay? That is why we highlight the importance of risk management, money management, and professional trading. Take a look at the funding rates as well. The funding rates right now are extremely positive. That means loads of over-leveraged positions in the market. Binance still seems to be quite okay, but we need to be very careful of the sudden movements up and down that will trigger liquidations. That is why this kind of information helps us to determine the stop losses and targets levels, so we can actually exploit and earn on this information. What about Altseason? Can Altseason come? Yes, if we start to shift from Bitcoin the money into altcoins. As you can see right now, the Bitcoin dominance is slightly dropping, but the problem is that we are above this huge support zone that we have turned from resistance into a support after we have been able to overcome it right here. This money from the Bitcoin is shifting towards Ethereum. We can see that, right? Look at that. Bitcoin dominance is going lower, and that money is flowing into Ethereum. So we can have Altseason, some shorter Altseason, if this money right now from Ethereum, by looking at Ethereum dominance, can start shifting into others dominance. This is the index of majority of altcoins, excluding the top 10 coins on the crypto market cap. So if we are able to translate all that money from Ethereum into others dominance, and we can overcome this moving average trend line, we will play extremely aggressively into buying and longing loads of great and strongest one altcoins that can make loads of profit. So we are definitely watching out for this opportunity, but right now the others dominance is still below the trend line, so that is why it is not very clever to proceed with some aggressive bullish plays, right? You always need to play strategically, and we are always waiting only for the best opportunities. Ladies and gentlemen, in the next video I will be informing you about the weekly candle and what can happen if we close above this resistance, and how fast can we go towards $93,000. Can we really, if we close above this resistance, if we close this candle this month, reach our ultra high time frame target $93,000? You will find out in the next video, where we will be discussing the mechanics of this possibility. So I will see you on Saturday. Cheers.